Um, my name is Alex Michael, a DevOps and cloud engineer. And today I would like to share with us phishing awareness. So we are at a time now when we have a lot of information stored in the internet. We have a lot of resources which are very useful to us in our day-to-day activities, in our day-to-day operations. And we need to have a place where we can actually store these processes so we can recover them, we can retrieve them whenever we need to. And this has made the internet to be very, very useful. It has made it to be, let me just say, the trending technology now, which many of us use, if not more than 90% of the world actually make use of the internet. And for this reason, there are a lot of people too who actually use it for malicious purposes, use it for purposes that are of not good use and are not ethical. And one of these methods of making, should I use the word bad use or unauthorized use of the internet, is through phishing. So phishing is more like you are a hacker trying to get information from its target audience through a mail. We've seen these maybe in our emails or even while we are working on our desktop, on our PC. You see some mails just flash up and wanting you to click into it and read it, and then they try getting information from you. They just say, ask you for your login details, your password and all that, your name. And these are very shady because, of course, when you want to give such information, it's not that it is bad to actually give information, because the technology space actually feed on information and make use of this information to generate better applications or for use for better purposes. So information is very good. But the thing is that there are some people who actually require this information so they can get into resources such as bank applications or personal mails and all that. So let me go to the first slide. So let me just give us a brief introduction of what phishing is. So phishing attacks are the practice of sending fraudulent communication that appear to come from a reputable source. The goal is to steal sensitive data like credit cards and login information, or to install malware on the victim's machine. Phishing is a common type of cyber attack that everyone should learn about in order to protect themselves. So as we can see over here from this image, someone remotely, let's just say the person can be in Germany, he sends a message to somebody in Nigeria and poses himself to be Amazon and says, okay, we are Amazon, click on this particular, maybe let's just say he sent him a mail. As you can see from here, he's actually sending a mail. Then in that mail, it's like, click on this particular link, then you'll be able to buy this particular product and all that. And then, of course, before you can buy a product, what do you have to do? You have to fill in sensitive details like your bank account. As you can see, this is a credit card or a debit card. As you can see, this is SIM card, meaning your phone number. And over here, I want to believe it's money or dollar. So, they take a whole lot of sensitive information from you. And then, of course, when they get this, they go into different classified information about you and even use it, poses as you in form of impersonation to do other malicious activities. So that is what phishing is all about. You are coming with the face of what you are not. It's more like impersonation. And then the later part of it says that phishing is a common type of server. Okay, that's not where I'm actually going to, but where I'm actually going to is that everyone must have knowledge about phishing. As long as you are working on the internet, as long as you have a PC and then you on your hotspot, you on your Wi-Fi, you work on the internet, you must have knowledge so that you can prevent it. So what is phishing? Phishing attacks are counterfeit communications that appear to come from a trustworthy source, but which can compromise all types of data sources. Attacks can facilitate access to your online accounts and personal data, obtain permissions to modify and compromise connected, such as points of sale systems, terminals, processing systems, and sorry, I can't really see this, but let me just continue. The entire computer network until a ransom fee is delivered. So what this is just trying to say is that someone is impersonating to be what he is not. I've already mentioned that. And then you think that, okay, fine, the person you are seeing is actually trustworthy, whereas there's a black hat hacker who is actually trying to, to be what he is not. So this is very, very dangerous. As you can see from the diagram over here, we can see the black hat guy, and then it's coming to be something. And you can see this is a security breach. He has broken the security firewalls and all that, as you can see. And then, the client is not always good on the client. It leaves a very terrifying effect on them. So how does phishing work? Phishing starts with a fraudulent email or other communication designed to lure a victim. The message is made to look as though it comes from a trusted sender. If it fools the victim, he or she is coaxed into providing confidential information, often on a scam website. Sometimes malware is also downloaded onto the target's computer. So I've actually fallen victim of this some time back, where I wanted to download some drivers, and I didn't know that the driver also came along with some virus and malwares. So my system, started acting up. So yes, I wanted to download this driver or this resource, and I believe that I was in the right place. So that is what phishing actually does. It just, sometimes it might be not just to, take sensitive information and all that. Sometimes it might just be so that they can, just crash your system. There's a kind of malware in which, a particular file, you think you download a file. And then when you downloaded that file, in the next minute, when you check it, the file has replicated into 1,000. In the next hour, it has replicated into 2 million. There are some malwares like that, and then you find out that the CPU, works and works and works, and then it starts failing. At that point, the computer comes crashing. So it is best for one to actually flash that system, as in just, install another OS, make it as clean as possible. So that's one of the things phishing actually does. It's not just mails alone, trying to get your information. It might also be in terms of that. And it can also be in terms of websites too. Someone poses that, okay, his website is, let me just say it's Microsoft. And then say, okay, fine, let me download Microsoft Word, and not knowing that it's a phishing site. For so many people that are into the crypto space, this is actually a good platform to actually learn about phishing. You don't just go into a website and say, okay, fine, because I use, let me look for one crypto wallet, Trust Wallet. Because I use Trust Wallet, so let me just www.trustwallet.com. No. Or just go on Play Store and say, okay, fine, I'm going on Play Store. Let me just, no, you don't have to do that. One of the ways in which you can use in preventing entering the wrong websites is that when you were registering, they would have, of course, they would have sent you their website. Their website should have been on one, on one tag or the other in their mail. You can always use that, always click on that mail, look for where their website is, and, always access that website from there. But if you go on Google and you say, okay, fine, www. The truth is that it might redirect you to something else. So that is why it is very important. You must be conscious of phishing sites. And one of the ways in which websites that actually do transactions, one of the ways in which they're using curbing phishing sites is that in your security, after you've done your login details, you've been verified and all that, then they ask you to prevent phishing sites, you can choose a particular set of numbers or a keyword which must always appear on the site. So if you go into that particular site, you find, okay, let's just say my keyword was, let me just say Alex Michael. So anytime I go into that site, I will always see Alex Michael in it. Then I'll know, yes, I'm in the right site. So that's how phishing works. So cyber criminals start by identifying a group of individuals they want to target. I've just mentioned about, in fact, 3 examples: Amazon, let's just say to a customer. I mentioned Microsoft, let's just say to let's just say to anyone who actually wants to use a Microsoft Word. And then I've mentioned that of cryptocurrency. So they always have a target customer. They don't just go, throwing their nets to catch any type of fish. They don't do that. Then they create an email or text message that appear to be legitimate, but actually contain dangerous links, attachments, or lures that trick their target into taking an unknown risky action. In brief, point 1, phishers frequently use emotions like fear, curiosity, urgency, and greed to compel recipients to open attachments or links or click on links. So, they will just create this anxiety in you. They can just bring an enticing offer. I see a lot of this when I'm working on my PC. And then I'll see federal government is giving 50 people 3 million naira, SMSE, SMES, and all that. It's doing that. When you see those type of things, as long as you never enter such sites, you never search for it, you had never, you had never gone into, searching for stores like that, and then it's just popping up all of a sudden, know that this is a phishing website. And of course, sometimes, some people will be like, okay, fine, I'm looking for loan. They start downloading loan apps. Our phones, our devices are smart. So they tend to bring things that are similar to that. So that is why it is very compulsory that you be careful on what you click on. Always verify any website before you go into it. So, and greed too, somebody, you especially those that maybe do lottery and all that, just because they want to always, don't get rich quick and all that. So they search and search and search. And of course, in that regard, they tend to give information to as many, sites as possible. Whereas, let's just say half of that site could be phishing sites. So point 2 is that phishing attacks are designed to appear to come from legitimate companies and even individuals. I've talked about that. Point 3 is that cyber criminals are continuously innovating and becoming more and more sophisticated. So when you try this today, when they try this today, people have known their tricks. They delve into another trick. They do this constantly. And that is why, there was something that was mentioned in some KDs ago about having to install updated antivirus. That is the way it is. We are installing updated antivirus because the virus that your antivirus was actually, was preventing yesterday, they would have come up with a new virus which can infect that computer. So that's antivirus you have can only cater for viruses that could be viruses that were created yesterday, but might not be able to cater for the viruses created today. So as hackers and people, or should I say, yeah, let me use the word people who do not want who use the internet for malicious reason, as they come up with better solutions in quotes to go into PCs and infect them. That is how antivirus should be too. We should always update them, use verified ones. Sometimes even in the course of getting or installing an antivirus, sometimes we even install viruses. Why? Because we must have gotten those antivirus from a phishing site. So dangers of phishing. What are the dangers of phishing? Personal phishing risks. So money being stolen from your bank account, you know, as you can see, this guy. And then it just gives, let's just say it came as a GT app. And then the client did not know. He thought he was on a GT app, not knowing that it was someone else that was just showing what he felt like seeing. And then inputs his, you know, account details. And then you find out that his application is being compromised. So fraudulent charges on credit cards, that's another one of the risks attached to phishing. Lost access to photos, videos, and files. Yes, because another person now has total control over your account, so he can do whatever he likes. E.g., the days of Facebook, you know, when there was a lot of hacking on Facebook and even Gmails too. So cyber criminals impersonating you to a friend or family member, putting them at risk. You know, the Yahoo in quotes of our time. You say, okay, fine, I am Buhari's daughter. I am the daughter of, let's just say, Lai Mohammed, or the son of this prominent figure. And then it takes from others because, of course, he has the contacts of other well-known people in, let's just say, in Nigeria, for example, and then he impersonates to be them, he collects money from them. That's one of the risks. You know, we must not fall into such risks. So we also have office phishing risks too, loss of corporate funds. In fact, a lot of people find themselves in jail. Accounting jobs are not what I envy at all. I don't envy accounting jobs. Not that it's not good, it's good, but because of this first one, someone can just come, impersonate to be what is not, and just take a huge sum of money from, you know, the company's accounts. And then, of course, it has a devastating effect on both the company and also the personnel in charge. Exposing the personal information of customers and co-workers. Just imagine when there is a breach, you know, there's a breach in security in, let's just say, a big company like, well, have I heard of Apple before? I've not heard of Apple, but let's just say Facebook. You know, you just find out that once they have such information, they can do whatever they like. And they can also, you know, they can also milk those customers too. So just look at a bank too. For example, a bank having this kind of issue, that will be very dangerous for such a bank. So files becoming locked and inaccessible. Yes, that is one of the things they will do. The classified information, e.g., let's talk about bank statements, let's talk about for example, any information that has to do with money. The first thing they will do is that they will first lock it up in such a way that you will not have access to it, while, of course, maybe just say they withdraw and do all sort of stuff. So these are office risks and they are very dangerous. So damage to your company's reputation. Once this happens, the customer learns of it. That is the end of such company. It takes a great deal of hard work to make customers to trust once again. So how can my company increase its phishing awareness? No single cybersecurity solution can avert all phishing attacks. Your company should consider a tiered security approach to lessen the number of phishing attacks and reduce the impact when attacks do occur. This multi-layered approach includes employee awareness training. So it is very important. Employees should be trained about this, just like what we are doing. Then when an attack makes it through your security, employees are typically the last line of defense. Yes. So even if, let's just say from the server, something happened, or from one place or the other, from one loophole, the employees too can also serve as another line of defense in which such hackers will not be able to penetrate further. So learn how to account for phishing attacks, how to recognize them, and what to do if you ever discern that you have accidentally succumbed to a phishing attack. Test your phishing knowledge by taking a phishing awareness quiz. So how can I detect phishing? On any email client, you can examine hypertext links, which is one of the best ways to recognize a phishing attack. Another is that when checking for hyperlinks, the destination URL will show in a hover pop-up window near the hyperlink. Ensure the destination URL link equals to what the email is saying. So additionally, be cautious about clicking on links that have strange characters in them or be abbreviated. So let me just summarize the explanation of this by saying, when you hover on a link, it is telling you Amazon.com, and it has given an hyperlink. For those that don't know what an hyperlink is, when others are blue, let's just say other words that are being written on that website are blue, or rather are black. But when this particular word is blue, it means that it's possible that it must be an hyperlink. By the time you scroll over it, you find out that there's another link it brings up. So that word can actually be, it might not even be a link. It might also be a word. Let's just say Amazon. But when it might just be Amazon. The Amazon is blue. When you hover on the Amazon, you find Amazon.com. It means that that particular word is actually, when you click on it, it's going to direct you to Amazon.com. So you must make sure that Amazon and Amazon.com, they have a correlation, not Amazon and then you are seeing unicaf.org, or Amazon and you are seeing somebody's personal mail. Then you know that this is actually a phishing bait. So on mobile devices too, you can observe the destination URL by briefly hovering your mouse over the hyperlink. As a result, the URL will materialize in a small pop-up window. So this is here about hyperlink. On web pages, your destination URL will be revealed in the bottom left corner of the browser window when hovering over the anchor text. So tips to help preventing attacks. We have one, monitor your online accounts regularly, keep your browser updated, don't click on email links from unknown sources. Be aware of pop-up windows, never give your personal information over email. Be very wary of social emotion lures. So what should I do if I receive a phishing email? If you receive a suspicious email, the first step is to not open the email. Instead, report the email to your company or organization as suspected phishing. Most importantly, you never want to assume that a coworker has already reported a phishing attack. The sooner your IT and security teams are forewarned to the potential threat, the sooner your company can take action to prevent it from damaging your network. Secondly, if you discern that you have accidentally engaged with a phishing attack and give out any internal information, you must report the occurrence immediately. If you don't report a phishing attack immediately, you could put your data and your company at risk. So thank you for listening. And if there are any questions, you are free to ask.
All right. Thank you very much. If you have
Welcome.
any question, please let's ask.
Mr. Michael, thank you very much. I really learned a lot from your presentation. But the
Thank you.
last slide, you said if the email is suspicious, it should not be opened. But how do you know if that email is suspicious if you don't open and read?
Okay, so we've already talked about different ways in which we can actually accidentally go into an email. For instance, you're talking about hovering. You get what I'm trying to say? So that is one of the ways in which you can use in knowing, okay, fine, this mail is suspicious. Another one is that when you look at a sender poses as, let's just say, let me look for a company now. A sender poses to, let's just say, company A. And then, when there's this triangle, where you look at the sender, you look at the recipient and all that of that particular mail. When you click on it, it comes with a name. When you click on it, you will see the email attached to that name. When you see that, you find out that it is a different mail entirely. The person is supposed to be Unicaf, and then the person is using a personal mail to send official mail. Now look at it. Yes, in Bincom, we use Gmail as our accounts. We use it as our, what they call it now, as our official email. But notice, you still find out that it comes with what? A .pincom. It comes with .income so that it can be identified to a particular company. Yes, it might be that we already have a standard procedure where it has to be an at bincom.net. We actually have sites that are at bincom.net, but due to the peculiarity of our organization, that is why we actually use .bincom@gmail.com. So even if someone even sees alexmichael.bincom@gmail.com, the person doesn't need to fear. Even if the person is even afraid, right? That is where the second point now comes in. You have to report. Okay, I'm not sure. I know bincom.net. Someone sent me a message, and then it came with Robert@bincom.net. But this time I am seeing alexmichael.bincom@gmail.com. You report. Now, when you report, what happens? Of course, maybe let's just say we are a client, or I don't know, let's just say we are a vendor. Whatever way, there will surely be a report to us, and then we can verify, yes, this is our account. Then, of course, transactions can continue. So these are the ways one have to actually vet all these emails that actually comes in. Another one is that spam emails, they just have a way of just creeping into your mail. What do you do? First of all, did you register for a particular product or service? Why are you getting the mail? That is why before, when you are doing some registrations, they ask you, should we send you newsletters? Yes, you have to give them the authorization. Some applications, should I say in quotes, web applications, the way it happens is that you have to give them authorization. That is why you have to input your email. So when you input your email, they say, okay, fine. Before you can go further, you first have to activate it from your email. When you go to your email, you click on it, they will direct you back to the same site. But what they are just trying to do is that they are trying to let you know that we want to actually have access to your mail, in the sense that sending letters to them. So in that way, their name will not be going on spam. Rather, it will be going to your main inbox. Why? Because you have already initiated a conversation with them. They've already sent you a mail in which you activated, you recognize, and all that.
Thank you, sir. But there's this one I got from Premium Trust Bank. I didn't make any application, but the email came and said that I've been scheduled for an aptitude test. I hesitated, I didn't open, but I was told to open with another tab, something like that. I
Okay,
said I should open with another tab that way to not affect. So is it true that if you choose to open it in another tab to not
that is
affect you?
for
That
me
link
not
that they sent.
it's not true. For me, it's not true. Now, this is just why it's not true. When you open it on another tab, is it not the same PC that is going to initiate, maybe them just say a conversation or whatever? It's the same PC. Now, even if you go incognito, right? Even if
Yeah.
you go incognito, the truth is that even through that same incognito, they can still have access to your information, rather to your PC. How? If you give them information, or they can still have access to your, let's say, account and all that. If you also put in information, that is what we call social engineering. So it is not compulsory that yes, they must come, put malware, and all that. Sometimes it's just by asking you to do something. Now, in the first place, did you send any application, to this particular bank? If you did, okay, let's just say that means that first line of defense is already fine, that you had already applied. But if you did not, why are you getting a? Because one of the things now is that because of the high level of job insecurity and also unemployment, hackers now tend to use that opportunity to even drain the masses of the little they have. E.g., let's look at the time of what they call it, this government program now. I've forgotten this one that after NYSC they do. I can't remember again.
Graduate training.
No, it's not graduate training. I've forgotten the name. There's actually a intervention program for
Okay.
unemployed graduates for them to do. And what did hackers do? They took charge of the thing. They just hijacked the whole thing. And you know what? They'll collect the fund from federal government, collect information from poor graduates that don't have a job, and yet they will still pry into their accounts, pry into their personal information, and also impersonate them. So, of course, there is no respect to, oh, this set of people are not, they don't have, or this set of people are not unemployed. I don't think if we should do, no, hackers don't know that. All what they know is that they get the money, or they get whatever resource. It might not just be money, it might just be a resource in that particular company or from that particular person, because the person is not actually their main target. Actually, it is the links to that person that is their main target. So once they are getting one, it's as good as getting 100, 1,000.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Actually, I should ask a question, but we don't have much time. So if we also have questions, we can just message Mr. Michael. He's going to answer those questions. So this will be the end of today's session. We will continue.